Hey, friends, family, saints, and ain'ts. Happy Thursday. Welcome to what I call Radiant Rap. Why do I call it Radiant Rap? Well, this is the place where I try to give back and we look at things that we can do, you and I can do to be healthy and whole. Radiant is an acronym for rest, activity awareness, because we really need to think about what it is that we're doing, be just more present with what we're doing. Diet, extremely important. Introspection. Oh my gosh, introspection is very important. And I combine prayer and meditation, all of that is part of introspection. Agua, because that fits for radiant, and we really need to be hydrated. Many of us are walking around dehydrated. Agua, note taking. We definitely need to write down what it is that we're doing, keep a calendar so that we can track what we're doing. I know I need to write everything down or I'll forget. And then training of both our mind and our body. This is week 47 of 2014, day 326. November 21st is the 326th day of the year. Usually it's the 325th, but this is a leap year, so it makes it the 326th day of the year. Among other observances for the month of November, American diabetes, which we're going to talk a little bit about today, lung cancer, COPD awareness. It's also World Vegan Month. And for all intensive purposes, I am vegan. Now, there's some vegans out there that will say, Shannon, you not know vegan. And they would say, I'm not a vegan because I might have a leather purse. Or I may take a supplement that is not a vegan supplement. And I do that. For example, I'll take a collagen, or I may take, like right now, I'm taking peptides, and I may take a peptide that has some animal product, a clean animal product in it. Now, the ones that I am taking right now are plant-based, but I'm not saying that I wouldn't take something that I feel like my body can benefit from. So, there are some people out there that would say, well, then you're not a vegan. But as far as eating dairy, eating meat, eating seafood, I don't do any of that. World Vegan Month, so shout out. It's also, as far as today goes, it's the Great American Smoke Out Day. Oh my gosh. For some of you, I know a lot of people who are smoking now are doing the, what are those things called? Where it doesn't give off as much smoke, but it's still not, like into the environment. And you kind of do it low key but we still know you smoking, and it's still not good for your lungs. And so COPD, it's that. This is the awareness for that. It's Alzheimer's Month. It's World Pancreas Cancer Day today. What else? National Stuffing Day. I'm telling you, you could go on and on with it's I think it's gingerbread. Wasn't it gingerbread? Yeah, gingerbread cookie day. I like this one. Use less stuff day. So for all of the green champions of the world, using less stuff. I'm trying to declutter. I think that as we get older, especially, we need to not keep accumulating things and start getting rid of things. I like the idea of being a minimalist. It's not always easy for me to do, but I don't know. Some, like, my best friend comes around here and she feels like I am a minimalist because I don't have like a whole lot of things in my house. So I like space. I like space. And I put on my story today that I'm trying to get organized to do a big project, a home project. We're having our master bath and bedroom done. And the contractor was talking about doing it on December 2nd. Like, what are you? I would be crazy out of my mind trying to do something around the holidays. Like that won't work. So January 2nd, and I am asking for help for picking out some things because I'm just not a good shopper. I hate shopping. My best friend loves shopping. As a matter of fact, a lot of people I know love shopping. I need to get with them more because I just don't like it. But yeah, you can help me pick out some things. So let's get to it. Dealing with diabetes, and what is the deal with diabetes? Let's see. Oh, I did want to tell you this too, because I know some of you have been looking at the make and the product, especially Lean and Fit. I have been talking about it a lot, and then they're always out. Well, right now we do have the Lean in stock. Did I tell you that in 22 days we sold $22 million in sales? It's crazy, and the products are in demand. I am using Fit and Lean as well, and I did great the first week. It slowed down, which I'm not mad at that. You kind of stay on these products, but at least give it a good 90 days to see what your optimal results are going to be. But the Lean and Fit aren't coming in at the same time. So earlier today, there was no Lean. Now there is Lean. If you still need the link, just let me know. And I don't think there's going to be Fit until next week. But the Hydrate is in. The Calm, I believe, is in. I don't know. It's changing all the time. But yeah, I'm really, really excited about the bioactive peptides. But that's another conversation for another day, my friends. Let's talk about the diabetes. Actually, this was an article that I wrote for a magazine. I write a column every month for a local magazine called The Wow. And that's my page right there, the deal on diabetes. So this is coming right from, from that article. Okay. Now, in terms of diabetes, how that happens, let me just give a disclaimer first. If you know me, I'm not a physician. I'm not a nurse. This is just general information, right? That I pray you can use to help you in your strategies for your health and wellness goals, okay? And so I try to share information in that vein. With that said, you always make sure that you see your healthcare provider for your individual specific situation, okay? All right. Well, we have a pancreas, and the cells in that pancreas produce insulin. And insulin is what regulates, gets the sugar. Anytime you see the word glucose, glucose, it's the same thing. That is, sugar of the body is glucose. That has to be shuttled from the bloodstream into the cells and utilized as energy. And when that process doesn't work right, we will tend to have problems. There's different types of diabetes. I have a cousin who had diabetes as a child, type 1 diabetes, that is, and it's an autoimmune. I didn't always know that. I don't know that we were always taught that it was an autoimmune, but it is an autoimmune disease. And people think of it as you developing it as a child, but you can really develop it at any age. And like I said, that pancreas has cells in it that helps to produce the insulin. And when you have type 1 diabetes, that those cells are attacked by your body, thinking that it's foreign. Anytime it's an autoimmune, the body is basically turning on itself. And so it attacks those cells, and then there's not enough of the cell to create the insulin that is needed to move the sugar from the bloodstream into the cells, into your cells of your body for energy. And so that's type 1 diabetes. It's an autoimmune. More common, though, is type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes, typically, it's not something that is developed until you're in your 40s, mid 40s. But what we're finding is people are being diagnosed with diabetes at much younger ages. And I didn't put the hyperglycemia on this slide, but basically that is a test of the amount of blood sugar that is in your body. And that can be an indication of diabetes or pre-diabetic. People that don't have diabetes can also have hyperglycemic or high blood sugar in there, or blood sugar levels. But that is an indication that you have type 2 diabetes or you're pre-diabetic. So I know a lot of us are or have been told that we're, pre-diabetic. And ideally, if you're told that, you want to do what you can to not become diabetic. And even better if we can avoid becoming pre-diabetic, at least for as long as humanly possible. And what I would ask you to do, even if you are, is to pass that information down to the next generation, so for your kids and your grandkids, right? So that we're just not continuing a cycle of waiting until we're pre-diabetic and diabetic, and then it being a concern. Gestational diabetes is also a thing, and that's for usually women who are pregnant, and it can be dangerous for the mom and for the baby. And that's something that's typically temporary. Okay, let's talk about the symptoms, though. Frequent thirst and dry mouth. Now, sometimes you'll have these symptoms and they're real subtle. Sometimes you don't even have symptoms with diabetes. So please, go to the doctor. And I say that, and I have a sensitivity to the fact that not everybody has insurance. And I know that sometimes we're not going to the doctors because of the cost of it. But if, just like minimally get to clinics, sometimes churches do testing. I know ours will do things like that, like have different tests and things. So try your best on a regular basis. And in my mind, that's even more reason to try and stay healthy. Frequently urinating, fatigue can be signs of pre-diabetic or diabetes. Unexplained weight loss. This happened this week. I was on Facebook and I was communicating in a post about weight loss. And one of my friends was posted I need to lose weight. And all these people responded. And one person was like, hey, I lost 30 pounds without even trying. And so I saw that and I was like, I didn't know the person. And I said, do you mind me asking, do you mind me asking if you're pre-diabetic, or do you know if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic? Because, how did you lose the weight? That's what I asked. And that's when the person said, I lost without even trying. Sometimes as you get older, you just lose your appetite and lose weight. That's not usually the case. Okay. You just all of a sudden, um, because you're older, start losing weight and not hungry. I mean, I'm not saying that it can never happen, but and the end result is she is diabetic, likely because the last time she had gone to the doctor, she was pre-diabetic, and then all of a sudden she just lost 30 pounds. You don't want to lose weight like that. That's a sign your body is telling you that something is not right. And it can be really dangerous. We think of weight loss as always great, and it's not always. And it matters what you are losing. What weight are you losing? Fat? Are you losing muscle? That matters. And a lot of times we're not thinking like that. If you're losing muscle mass, you are aging yourself. And then when you gain weight back, typically you are not putting on more muscle. You're going to put the fat back on. So then even if you end up at the same weight that you were in the beginning, you're fatter. You have more body fat than you did initially because you lost muscle mass and you didn't put the muscle mass back on. So you can see some of the other symptoms as well. Wounds healing really slowly, shortness of breath, numbness. My poor dad had all of these, just about all of those symptoms. Rest in peace. Diabetes can be so horrible, so horrible. And so here are some of the dangers of diabetes: strokes, heart attacks, losing limbs and, fingers and toes and more, and blindness, all can be as a result of unregulated diabetes. Okay, so what I wanted to do tonight was talk about a strategy. So let's quickly talk about some. Okay, what I think is really important, another friend and I were talking this week, and basically she was saying the all or nothing health strategy isn't working. And it really is hard to do that, all or nothing. You're just going to be all good and do all things right. I have a hard time doing it. Sometimes I do things better than other times. And I've been working at this game for a really long time. So maybe during the holidays, right? If you try to do too much, it's just going to stress you out and you'll end up doing the very things that you want to avoid doing because that is your coping mechanism for dealing with stress, right? So ideally, you want to quit smoking. You might not quit during the holidays. I don't know. Maybe you would be able to. But if that's one of the things that you choose, and I think it's a really good option to choose, you might snack a little bit more. Right? You might end up eating during that time. But I think smoking is just a great one to accomplish. And then you deal a little bit later, maybe, with the extra pounds that you put on. I would recommend that you combine that with eating like more vegetables and fiber and, some more healthy foods. Now, for the holidays, what do you mean avoid processed foods and sweets? That's all the holiday is about, right? Well, sometimes we make the holiday a whole 6 week, like the whole next month and a half is going to be holiday. We don't have to do that, right? We can have a couple of days that are the holiday eating. And even on those days, we don't have to eat and drink till we pass out, have to unbutton our clothes. We can't fit into our clothes, feel uncomfortable, feel horrible, because we feel horrible when we eat like that. So maybe consider cutting back a little and changing our self-talk. I didn't say that on here, but actually change. I am healthy. I am a healthier version of myself. Start speaking it those things that you want to be as though they already are. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to not do that, say I am doing it. So make that more of your identity. And that is the book of the month that I talked about last week, Atomic Habits by James Clear. That book is really good and very helpful. Also, take your medication. I don't know what this thing is about people like, I'm not going to take medication. No, who wants to take a medication if you don't have to? But if you've been diagnosed with something, until you get that under control, take the medication, because you're putting too much stress on your kidneys, too much stress on your pancreas, too much stress on your body. And not taking the medication is not going to serve you well. Now, once you kind of get things under control a little bit, then I can see, that would be great, because all medications have side effects. And that's one of the things I like about these peptides, because the peptides that are bioactive are not like therapeutic peptides, which therapeutic peptides are pharma, they are medication. The bioactive are from nature, and they're a nutritional supplement. And we're having really good results with them. All right. So that was what I wanted to share with you today as far as strategy. The main thing is, and I hope you talk to me, because you're not talking to me now, but I hope you say, something about what your strategies are, what your challenges are, talk back to me. And maybe if I'm not talking about things that you would like me to talk about, that you would share with me what it is that you would like me to talk about. But in conclusion, for dealing with diabetes and the deal with diabetes, as far as strategies over the holidays, pick a couple things, 1 or 2 things that you're going to work on. And as a third thing, the holidays are not the next 5-6 weeks. It's not 1 or 2 days, 3 or 4 days max, so that every party, you don't have to max out on everything. Every weekend, you don't have to max a little bit. Come on. Let's be more mindful and moderate in our unhealthier habits. And let's start thinking of ourselves as a healthier version of ourselves. I am a healthier version of me. Not I'm trying to be. I am. Listen, I love you. There's nothing that you can do about it. You have greatness inside of you, and I believe in you. I'll see you next time.